Hey guys, welcome back. Last episode, we got into the thick of talking about fentanyl and meth. This episode, we're going to be wandering into the zone to see what's going on down there, giving a bit of an update on what happened with the big cleanup. And then we start working our way back to downtown, but I start to panic because I cannot get cool. Stay tuned.
This is now the zone.
Yep, so we're in the zone. So this is this area. We're walking up Madison right now. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Madison, Jefferson. All of this used to be tents along here. This was, for a while, the largest homeless encampment in the United States. It peaked at about 1,200 people in tents, as well as the folks living in Cass, and I think at that point it was about 600 was the Cass capacity. So there's usually a fair amount of action down here. There's lots of folks, even though they're not allowed to camp down here anymore, there's still a lot of folks that hang out because there's services available, cooling center, etc. The folks in these companies and residences, landlords and stuff that were being affected by the sheer amount of human encampment waste generated, crime, etc. Yeah, it smelled so bad. They joined in a class action lawsuit. They all wound up suing the city of Phoenix for allowing the dumpster fire that was the public camping that was happening down here, and they eventually won.
Dude, I walked by that. I walked by that when that happened. When that person was thrown into the dumpster. Oh. And I'm pretty sure I had walked right by that right after.
So that was somebody who got killed and thrown in a dumpster. Yeah, there were several murders. There was a fair amount of violence,
I
rapes.
heard someone down here was a serial killer at one point in time.
Wouldn't be surprised. So it was a mess. And ultimately, a superior court judge for the state of Arizona issued an injunction that the city had to tear everything down, clean up all the camps. And so that happened. Over the course of a few months, they just started clearing block by block and reducing the number of people out here. And they were desperately trying to get services provided and hotel rooms available for folks so they had a place to move when they were getting off the street. And ultimately they met the deadline, were able to get everybody off. So this is the Cass campus right down here. But we've also got Andre House, is this building right here that the people are waiting in front of. So, following Bobby here.
Bye.
Looks like we have some folks who are handing out water.
Food, water, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Getting some water.
Can I have something? You guys are all out? Yeah, or if you got like something with flavor.
We don't got no flavor right now. All we got is ice and water.
Well, I don't need some. That would just be, yeah.
All we got is water right now. That all right?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
All right. Awesome.
Cool.
Cool. Thanks. Okay. Water procured. And boom, holy crap. Bobby just drank that water bottle.
Yeah, I'm thirsty.
Like 5 seconds.
Another one?
That's crazy.
Slam it down, bro.
That is not something I have the physical capacity to do. Oops. Sorry.
What?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, banana? Sure.
Well, they're handing out bananas as well. So you'll get church organizations that will come down and do some amount of aid,
Giving.
Meals, could be hot dogs, could be a grilling type thing. I know that Bridge for Community Service actually uses, if I'm correct, this lot straight ahead for breakfast service on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
I know I've volunteered down there doing that in the past. There's some good folks.
There's like a biker gang of like people.
Yeah. They got a bunch of bikers. But they're a Christian-based organization.
Yeah.
And so they're there to kind of provide security. But this is the Brian Garcia Welcome Center and the entry to CAS. And these are the folks who are kind of coming in and out of the campus. So there's dental services, medical services, housing,
Their
showers.
dentist office is awesome.
All kinds of, yeah, the dental office is
Beautiful in
super.
there.
Yeah,
Nice.
well funded, well run. They have a lot of dentists that'll come down and do volunteer time. And they've got some advanced equipment there as part of what they're doing. So, oh, we got cold waters being handed out.
Ooh.
Look at this. All right.
Okay, gotta take advantage.
Oh, sack lunches. Okay.
See, as a member.
Sack lunch. It's got sandwiches.
Cool.
And some like fruit roll-ups, chips, stuff like that.
Thank you.
Something salty, something sweet.
Oh, salt and sweet. There we go.
Okay.
Did you have fruit roll-ups?
Some salty, some sweet.
It's so full.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
It's so full.
They've crammed so much shit in there. Oh man. Okay, so you generally need to have a pass and stuff to be able to get in.
Yes, you need what is
CAS.
known as a CAS ID card.
CAS ID. Okay.
Yeah.
Which I do not have, and I'm assuming you don't either.
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do. Oh,
Yeah.
you could get in.
I could.
So one of the things about being right down here is it is just baking in the heat, and there's no real shelter
shade.
to be able to get out of it.
No.
And that's deliberate, I think, to kind of make this place feel really inhospitable and keep people out of it. But you get various people doing street outreach, and they'll come down with cold drinks and chat with people. Of course, there's people with.
For like the people that stay out here all week, all day, all night,
Golly,
like they're fucking,
it's just so
they're
hot.
screaming more than they normally would be.
Right.
Yeah.
She's been around for so long.
Yeah.
She hasn't. I remember when I was first came here, she was one of the people that was around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means she's been here at least 4 years.
At least.
Yeah. Does she always have episodes like that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a consistent state of mind now.
But there was times where you just see her quiet as a bug, doing her drugs,
Oh, okay.
you know, happy as can be.
Well, how would somebody like that get money for that?
That's a good question.
Okay.
I would not know. Those are answers that I wish I could provide for you.
Yeah. Boy, this sure does look different though than it used to. I mean, all of these sidewalks used to be full of tents. It's a sad place. Did you ever use Andre House for their services they offer?
Yeah, I used to use them for showers, clothes.
Okay. Look at this. A little bit of shade.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it where you can get it.
And that's private property. And
Yeah, you can walk kind of close. Temperature drops by 5 degrees.
shit, if that.
Can you imagine like living here, like renting that apartment while all of that's happening right outside? I mean, it was
You had to be sitting. You know,
chaos.
I'm so grateful for this gate being here.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean?
But even having to weave your way in and around the tents to be able to get
Yeah.
in your front door type of thing, and that's what all the businesses were having to deal with. That was crazy.
I mean, they didn't fix the problem.
Yeah,
They just moved it.
yeah. Kind of dispersed it out.
So like a lot of people ended up moving into neighborhoods downtown, and it affected everything down there.
Okay, so when the city came in to do the big clear out and they were really kind of pushing that 1,000 to 1,200 people away from Cass and offering them shelters, do you think a lot of those people didn't stay in the shelters for very long?
Like the hotels that they offered?
Yeah,
Probably not, because of the fact that they didn't get the opportunity to have visitors. They felt more incarcerated than they did like actual like taken care of.
okay,
Me personally, I wouldn't have minded.
I see. Well, okay, so if you had the opportunity to get that kind of, let's say, shelter bed, is that something that you would take advantage of?
Like here?
No,
just
not,
like a-
not here, but like a hotel.
Oh yeah,
You know?
definitely.
Okay. Do
Definitely.
you think that that's something that may be an opportunity for you?
I don't know.
Okay.
But like, I would like it to be convenient to the point where I can go to work.
Right.
I could use it.
Close to the light rail or at least public transport of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all that, the way the public transport is now, it's coming to an end. Not even the buses will be allowing people to give cash to hop on the
Okay.
bus.
I see.
You're gonna have to use a card,
Right.
and it's just
But you
gonna
got to stock that card somehow. And if you're doing day labor and getting paid with a check that you cash, how do you get that into loading
Yeah.
up a card?
yeah, you gotta what you gotta do, buy like a gift card and
Yeah.
use that to.
How big do you think the turnover rate is at a place like Cass? I mean, I know you saw the one lady there who was kind of tweaking out.
Okay, so the amount of people that probably be like turn away from Cass.
Well, because you were saying they generally have like a 3-month thing where you're in and then you're back out again type of thing. They're kind of trying to get you turned around and into something more permanent.
I mean, I saw people when I was in there. I saw people come in there for 3 months, and then the next 3 months later, and then for 3 months they'd be gone, and then there they are again.
I see.
So like,
Cycle in and out.
yeah, because
Okay.
Cass didn't really sit there and turn a lot of people away at a point in time.
Right. Oh man, it's hot. I might need to find some shade.
Okay.
Not need to, but
Yeah.
if there was a spot like
Yeah.
a parking garage that might be like a block away, that may not be a bad place to sit down.
Oh, that sounds great with me.
Awesome.
I usually sit there and take advantage of parking garages during the week, during the weekends. Not so much throughout the week because,
Full of people.
yeah, but during the weekends, they're perfect to just sit there and enjoy the city quietness. And sometimes you get that nice, enjoyable breeze that comes through there. It's like, oh, thank God.
Drops the temperature by a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, these
I'm
days,
starting to feel it, man.
yeah, these days they're grueling,
Yeah, well, and then especially like a day in, day out type of thing. You just, I mean, okay, yay, I made it through a day, and I know I got another one, and another
Yeah.
one, and another one.
Exactly. And just
Jeez.
imagine like you're sitting there and you're working. And so you're going around and you're doing all the things that
dude.
you have to do after you work.
Yeah.
And so now you're at an 18-hour day before you even
Yeah.
get to kick off your shoes or your boots.
Right.
And just finally like go to sleep and wake up and then have to do the whole damn thing over.
On some level,
I hate it.
yeah. But you get trapped in it. It becomes hard to get out of it once you're in it.
Depending on what it is you're doing though at that time.
Okay.
I could be doing a whole lot better with myself, but I haven't been.
What do you think holds you back?
My ignorance.
Just general ignorance or ignorance in a particular thing?
Yeah,
Not
I guess
having
you
a
could say
job
that.
skill set or something
No,
like
no,
that?
it's just more like ignorant as in wanting to have things accomplished, I guess, certain things.
So you've
In
got
other
a
words-
set of things that you generally want to accomplish within the
Yes.
next few months,
Yes.
within the next year.
In other words, like I'm having faith in something
Yeah.
and hoping and praying that it'll fall through, and then everything will just be okay.
Yeah.
And so I've been stuck at it, and it just hasn't gone anywhere.
Okay.
And so it's just very.
And this is to get back together with your girl.
Well, yes,
Settle
that's part
back
of it.
into- okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing more that I would love than to just sit there and tell her that I love her and that everything's gonna be okay, and
Yeah.
you know, that we're gonna have our babies, and you know,
How long have you guys been together?
since June or July of 2022.
It's been a
I was
couple years.
hungry one day, and I saw her eating,
Oh,
and I just decided to sit there and ask her for some food, and
uh-huh.
she said, "Yeah, come on over," and
Uh-huh.
she took care of me.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, I didn't do the best to repay her.
Okay.
I could have been a better man.
Okay.
And, but I think about her every day, and there's nothing more I would love than to go home right now.
Yeah. Sure.
There's nothing more.
Sure.
But I have to be able to sit there and be able to go home and have a financial stability
Yeah.
game where it's like, where she doesn't feel that I'm just there to use her, or yeah.
Was that kind of the foundation of the fights that you were having?
Financially was one of the issues, yes, financial
Okay.
problems.
And you think that if you're able to get into a stable situation, get a job that's more kind of everyday, that you'd have something then to go back and be able to say, hey, you know, I've got this stable thing, I can provide this amount of money, let's work on our other issues.
Maybe.
Okay. Sure.
Hard to tell. Now, do you want to sit here or you want to sit in there?
Whatever, you were the man. Here, great. Ugh.
These sheets are still hot though. Yeah.
Okay, if you had to take a leak at this point, what would you do? Because I'm getting to that point.
I would walk around this thing and I just.
You on the other side of it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. I might go try and find a tree to walk behind. I feel a
Just,
little
you know,
exposed
'cause-
here. So when you have a territory, you just generally know where all the cooling centers are at, and you know you can kind of plan your day out and figure out, okay, I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna go there.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
There's more resources downtown than there are like really anywhere else.
yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, fuck, dude, I couldn't imagine being all the way out there in those parts.
Like Mesa or Gilbert.
No shade, no nothing. You know, just absolute sunlight.
But there's people out there.
There are,
Yeah.
but they're out there because of the drugs. You know, or they're just out there because it's somewhere where they feel comfortable.
What is it about the drugs being out there that would make it preferable? Less chance they're going to get busted because there's just more open space? Cheaper drugs?
I have no
Fewer?
idea.
Okay.
I would assume that, you know, they are out there because
You've got a good reason to be.
they have more likelihood of getting what they want. You know, a
Yeah,
lot of people
I
do
see.
have homes. A lot of people do have places they can go,
Okay.
but they don't sit there and. They don't do it.
Okay. How are you feeling calorie-wise for the day?
How am I feeling?
Yeah.
Power-wise?
Sack lunch, a couple of, we had the ramen.
I feel like I could take a nap.
Yeah. We could do it. If this is when you would take a nap, let's do it.
I wouldn't know where to take a nap right now.
Okay.
Except for probably over by 7th Street.
Okay.
You know, probably by like the Starbucks over there. And there's a building where like the sun is away from. But then you might have to deal with the fact that, oh great, now it smells like piss and shit over here.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, so maybe, I mean, we're not that far from Fry's where we started off our day.
No.
That would be some AC that we could potentially go sit in, if that
Yeah.
made sense.
Yeah, that would be
Just kind of
wonderful.
go AC hopping
Yeah.
a little bit.
What's up, dude? How you doing?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking,
that's always nice, you know.
On
Sit
some
there
level,
and-
I am not used to this kind of heat.
I don't think anyone is, whether the fact that they sit there and they've lived it
Well,
their
okay.
entire life or not.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm starting to get a low-level panic response.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we've been out here. I'm serious. It's the weirdest thing, right? So it's 12:17 right now. And let's see here.
Just imagine being left out here.
Well, that's the thing, right? So I've been out here all of 3 hours now, and I can tell my core temperature is rising.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just and in the pit of my stomach, I'm starting to feel this like, holy shit, you're gonna need to do something about this. You know, this is not something that you can do all day.
I mean, the first time I became homeless was back in 2016, and I was left out to the streets. I had nowhere to go. I had nothing, and
In Yuma.
yeah, and I was like, I was so heartbroken at the time too. And yeah, being out there in the middle of July, it's 110, 15 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do?
Right.
You have nothing, no money, no nothing, and you're just like, oh my God.
Did you get kicked out of the house? Is that what happened?
But they lost the house.
Oh, they lost the house, and so there's just nowhere to live. Where did they go? Was it your parents and Sibs?
They were. These were other people that, you know, friends.
Okay, that you were staying with. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they had lost the house. And I just remember sitting out there by the Taco Bell, started to cry, and just was like, fuck, dude, now what? Granted, I did go to where I felt most comfortable, which was the foothills of Yuma, but still.
Yeah. There's a hopelessness about this. It just kind of weighs on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel it. This is the craziest thing.
It's just, it's mind-boggling sometimes for some.
Yeah.
During the winter, it's okay. It's a manageable thing, but
Right, because you're not battling the literally deadly heat.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the cold is still pretty, you know, cold, but
Even just to stop walking, you know, I can feel that panic response going down a little bit.
yeah.
Are you familiar with what this is? Okay.
That's
So
why I
you
started
get it too.
laughing.
Okay. Maybe it's just being from Alaska and just not knowing instinctually what to do with the heat. I know what to do with the cold. You just get active, right?
Yeah.
Raise that core temperature through activity.
Yeah.
But it's the opposite, you know.
Yeah.
When you start getting that, it's just like, okay, slow it down.
Yeah. Sit
Figure
down,
out a spot.
Like, where am I gonna sit? How am I gonna sit there and not like overdose myself with heat exhaustion?
Right.
You know, and you're just like, okay.
But on some level, when it's 110 or 115 degrees, even the shade isn't going to get your core temperature down.
No.
So you've got to find AC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eventually, you will have to. Eventually, you're gonna have to come back out here. And when you do come back out here, you're just gonna want to sit there and not be so ruined
Yeah.
by the heat already.
Right.
Because you're gonna have to finally go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna want to sit there and have your body relax a bit.
Yeah. Do you ever get to a point where you're just so hot you can't sleep?
Yes.
And then it just that's a combining thing and makes your next day worse. And yeah.
You wake up and your arms are sweating, your back is sweating, your chest is sweating, your face is sweating. Like, even if you're not sweating, you wake up and all of a sudden you're in a sweat.
I know a lot of people wind up heading north for the summer. You know, just so they can escape the crazy heat. Is
It's like
that
that in
not?
Cholo.
Sorry,
It's like that in Cholo.
Cholo.
Yeah, people will sit there and they'll leave here just to go up there for this
Yeah,
summer. and
Okay. I mean,
It's still warm, but
Colorado, Montana, Idaho, Washington, or you know, towards California. California does not get that hot in the summer. Get all that nice Pacific Ocean keeping things
right.
temperate. Well, so then it's your girl and your kids that are keeping you here.
I don't know. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Wanna go get some AC?
Let's do it.